What's going on, everybody? My name is Nate Freeman. I'm joined today by the number two ranked featherweight in the U.S., and she's fighting this Saturday, but she's also fighting on the Challenger Muay Thai series. It's Lady Killface herself, Natalie Morgan. Natalie, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So, like I mentioned, let's go ahead and talk about your fighting for Fairtex fights this Saturday. Go ahead and break down the fight, and you're fighting in Lupini Stadium. So, one of the most famous Muay Thai stadiums, if not the most famous Muay Thai stadium in the world. So, just give me your thoughts on that fight and how you see the fight going.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, honored to be asked to fight at that stadium. When I started fighting, it wasn't really an option for women to fight there, so I never really even it never crossed my mind. So now that I'm like, oh wow, this is something that I can accomplish as a female fighter, I think it's a big deal for me. I'm excited. I'm really pumped. I don't know much about my opponent. She, I've seen some videos, very Thai style. Uh, I don't think she's gonna like my style very well. If you see me fight, I'm a very forward pressure fighter. I like to throw a lot of hands. That's kind of the game plan. If it goes into the clinch, it goes in the clinch. We'll fight in the clinch. It's a short fight. It's only three rounds. Yeah, 3 3-minute rounds. So it'll go by really quickly. I'm used to fighting five, so it's like, I think it's good because I keep a high pace anyway. But with 3 rounds, I should be able to keep a really high pace.
Yeah, that seems to go well with your game plan and all of that. So, um, yeah, that's really exciting. Okay, and then you're about to start your weight cut for that. I think you mentioned before we got on the air. What does your weight cut look like for this fight?
This one's not bad. Yay. Um, because I've been here for 2 weeks now, almost 2 weeks, training and staying at Fairtex. So, doing, 2 sessions a day, sweating like crazy, running every morning. So my weight just kind of came off. So I was trying to actually keep the weight on this time so I could
Oh,
have
wow.
a little bit of a cut. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not too bad. I think this time around, I got to see what I wake up at tomorrow, maybe have a little breakfast and then go from there. Because I've been waking up on weight. So if I wake up on weight tomorrow, it's going to be money in the bank. Really easy. So I should feel really, really good going into the fight, which I'm excited about.
It's always good when you can have breakfast the morning of weigh-ins.
Yes.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
tomorrow's actually not the weigh in. It's a little weird this time around. Tomorrow, my weight cut starts in the morning. So, yeah. So,
Interesting. Okay.
because we fight in the morning, which is, I've never done that before. It starts at 10 a.m. here on Saturday.
Okay. Well, a little different timing, but
Yeah.
still sounds
Still
like
on.
it'll be an easy weight cut. So, um, and you're obviously used to dealing with people who haven't had easy weight cuts. I think one of your most famous fights is when you fought somebody that was 13 pounds over. Um,
Yeah.
but moving on to the Challenger series, go ahead and talk to me a little bit about how this opportunity came about for you. Like, what was the process like? What was the timeline like from getting it discussed to where you are now, where you're about to join the show in a couple weeks?
It's been quite a while. It started in May process. They reached out to me via email and I said, yes, I was interested. So there was an interview process. So I sent in my interview for them. And then I waited and there for a minute, I didn't really hear anything back. So I was like, oh, maybe I didn't get it, no big deal. And then I finally did hear back. I'm not quite sure when that was. Um, but then, there's a lot of back and forth and a lot of, timing and dates and, oh, these dates are doing, no, we're doing these dates. So it was a lot of back and forth trying to get everything put together. Um, so before I decided to come to Thailand, I wasn't sure if it was actually going to happen. Like I wasn't sure like if things were going to work out. So that's actually why I ended up here because I was like, oh, I don't really think it's going to work out. So I'm just going to go fight in Thailand. And it turns out that it did work out. So yeah, so I was really excited when I got, when I heard back, and it kind of really works out because I'm already here and it's in Malaysia. So it's just like a quick plane ride over.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, the challenger is for I come from the world of MMA. It's very much like the Ultimate Fighter, except with Muay Thai, and it's a six-man tournament, so a little bit less in terms of who's competing and all of that. But the theme of this show is USA versus the world. So tell me how you're feeling to represent USA in this themed show, and yeah, your feelings on being on the show in general.
I'm excited. Super excited about being on the show. USA versus the world, I think is great. When I fought for Angels, I represented the USA, but this time it's like a team. I think is more. It's more. There's going to be a little bit more camaraderie. Obviously, I can announce because everybody has already. Me, myself, Amy, Duke, and Tierra Brandt will all be going. So it's that's really all I know. So um, I'm very excited to be, standing along those two representing the United States. And Tierra was actually at Fairtex with me while I was training for this fight a little bit. So we worked together a little bit. We're like, yeah, we're going to be spending the next like however many weeks together. We might as well just start hanging out and getting ready together now. So I think it's going to be awesome. It's the best of the best from the US. We're really excited to find out who the other people are too.
Yeah, I think at least on the men's side, I have heard that Zach Bennell and Nick Chastain are going to be there on the men's side as well. So that's really exciting. They're some exciting fighters, and I know that they have some really interesting personalities, and that's sort of what they're looking for in the show.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about spending 5 or 6 weeks in a house, sort of away from everything? Is that how do you mentally prepare for something like that, I guess?
I don't know. I've never done that. And in today's day and age, it's like we have our phones for everything. So um I just kind of, I have work and business and things that I have to do. So I'm a planner. So I feel like mentally preparing for me was just like making sure that everything was very, very planned from, the very beginning for while I'm gone. I have someone taking care of absolutely every little thing that I won't be able to look at on a daily basis. So I feel like that really helped. I'm not I'm actually kind of excited to like please take my phone. I don't, I feel like a slave to my phone because I use it for work so much. And I'm excited about that a little bit, to just be able to totally focus and relax and just, deal with training and, really get my mind and my mental game on point without the distractions of the outside world. So I think that'll be good. I'm gonna miss my husband, that's for sure. That's gonna probably be one of the hardest things. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's just how I'm not really thinking about it. I'll get there and deal with it when I get there.
No, that's perfectly fair. Okay. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I let you go, I do want to give you the floor. How can people? Well, first of all, before I do that,
Hmm.
I did think of something.
Yeah.
Obviously, your nickname is Lady Killface, and I
Mhm.
think some of these Muay Thai fighters, I come from, like I mentioned, the world of MMA, where a lot of their nicknames are pretty basic, but
They're all the
uh,
same. They're
yeah,
all the
they're all like Pitbull or
yeah.
the Spartan or something like that. Um, but I feel like a lot of Muay Thai fighters, including yourself, have very unique nicknames. Like I spoke with Erin Clayton, her nickname's Trash Girl. I speak your nickname's Killface. Like
Yeah.
I think a lot of these, especially U.S. Muay Thai fighters, have just some really interesting nicknames. So talk to me about how your nickname came about.
Okay. So, it's a good question. Everyone always asks me this question. As you know, you don't give yourself your nickname, so it
Yeah.
basically happens along your career. It was maybe my third fight, and I was in the ring with someone. We're both very green. It's like a smoker type fight. We got headgear on, so we get in the ring. We seal the ring. We go to the middle. We're standing there, and the ref is like saying, "I want a good, clean fight." There's a knockdown. You go to the neutral corner, whatever. And I look over, and this girl is like, it looks like she's leaning in because she can't hear because it was very loud. I was in a gym, And then all of a sudden her face turned like paper white and she lost her legs and straight fainted. I've never seen anyone faint like that in my life. Yeah, it was like a movie scene. Like she fainted and the ref caught her in his arms. And then I was like, it was a very confusing moment because I was like, what just happened? Like, is she okay? And then I was angry because I was like, we were like, I didn't get to fight. And then, you know, it was my only no contest. They called it a no contest. She was fine. She just had a really bad case of nerves. So that's kind of, yeah. And then, you know, jokes were going around, just weird different names. And like the Killface was just the one that stuck.
That's really cool. Really interesting story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now, before I let you go,
Mhm.
how can people follow you on social media? And I'll give you the floor to give any shout outs to any sponsors, coaches, anything like that. The floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I'm at Lady Killface. You can find me anywhere. LadyKillface.com is my website. So if you need to find any of my information, it's there. I always want to thank my team at the yard in Los Angeles, you know, my coaches, Mark, Yoshi, and Joe. My sponsors, you know, not just for this fight, but every fight, Resilient Fight Gear, Impact Mouth Guards. There are so many other ones just for specific fights, but um, I want to thank USA Muay Thai. You know, this is my first year working with them, and they've been fantastic. And I'm looking forward to keeping that partnership going in the future. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time today. This has been Lady Killface, Natalie Morgan. She's competing on the Challenger Muay Thai series here in a couple weeks, and it'll air in a couple of months, correct? And we are still not entirely sure where it's going to air here in America, but it will be airing somewhere, and we will all be watching it and can't wait to see you on the show. Um,
Awesome.
Natalie, thank you so much for your time today. Best of luck in your fight and best of luck on the show.
Thank you so much.
No problem.